What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Chicago Accountant, and today I want to talk about something that's been going on in the south side of Chicago. If you don't know, if you're new to the channel, I am based out of the south side of Chicago. I'm not in the suburbs, I'm not in Oakland, I'm not in Evanston. I live on the south side. So with that being said, I do want to talk about the armed Venezuelan migrants that took over an apartment complex in Chicago. First of all, if you don't know by now, that was absolutely false. It's already been busted, and that was because it was due to somebody that was pushing an anti-immigrant or anti-migrant rhetoric, basically trying to say what's happening, or what did happen in Colorado is trying to happen in Chicago. So we get it. What's happening in Colorado is really bad. You know, that happens. I'm pretty sure there was gangs in Venezuela just like it's gangs in Chicago. But the thing is, with Colorado, it don't have the reputation that Chicago have. So it was probably a bit easier for them to do that. But to push the story that this happened in Chicago, I'm not buying it. What's even worse is that the apartment complex that the migrants, that the Venezuelans were supposed to take over in Chicago was really close to O Block. And if you know anything about Chicago, there is no such thing as taking over anything in O Block. That is one of the most, I want to say organized, but one of the most like tight-knit communities in Chicago. It's not a community with the best reputation, but it's one of the most tight-knit. There is no taking over. And yes, it has been busted that, yeah, it was somebody just pushing the anti-immigrant rhetoric, somebody who was just probably sick and tired of them. Sick and tired of them. So they said, hey, what they got going on in Colorado, they doing here in Chicago. Let me say this. I see migrants every day. I see them every day on the south side of Chicago. Number one, they mind their own business. They mind their own business. It's not crazy to think that a group of them or a gang of them will probably get up and say like, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. It's not crazy to say. I'm not saying that would not happen or that don't happen. But from my experience, when I go to my Walmart on the south side, I see them. They out there, they're in the parking lots, they're hanging out. They not messing with nobody. They cause no trouble. They mind their business, they wanna make some money. That's it, cool. But it has been before in Chicago where some Venezuelans, they do feel tough. They do feel like, you know, they want to try it. And ultimately, this happened in December of 2023, pretty much not a couple months ago, but pretty much half a year ago. One did get in the head. You know, one did get in the head because he was notorious for starting trouble. He was starting trouble. Like, he thought like, oh, I'm not scared of Chicago. And that's what happened. If you gonna come, we kind of let them know, like, look, if you gonna come, you gonna act like you got some sense. That's it. So, but back to the video. The apartment complex is close to O Block. Ain't no taking over that. Now, if you told me they took over an apartment complex in Naperville, or they took over an apartment complex somewhere just out, not in Chicago, maybe. But anywhere to where it's close to, it already has a gang activity problem, the BDs and GDs, they already run that over there. And to say that they took over there, that would have made, number one, the south side look completely soft. That would have took away all our credibility, all our notoriousness, all of our reputation would have took that away. And then number two, it would have been like, bro, the Venezuelans are for real. And that's not that. From seeing them every day, that's not that. The video breaking down some of the new firearms that I was able to get my hands on, and one of the fastest selling firearms of 2024, which I will show off and talk about in my next video. But I will be doing more videos like this, talking about Chicago and what's going on from the south side standpoint, to give you a direct insight to what it's like coming from an actual south sider, and then what goes on in the news. So stick around, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.